Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to Ask the Wasteland Reviewer. And this is, I believe, my 8th video that I've done like this, and this is a very special occasion celebrating my 500th subscriber. You know, took 5 years, but we got there. And I have a variety of different kinds of questions from different people from Instagram or some of my friends and others who have contributed questions. So getting things off with a very interesting question from my friend Alex from the Development Hell podcast. What film hits on the darker side of your humanity? And this is a very interesting and different kind of question. And I feel like the first thing that popped in my head was Whiplash. And the reason I feel that way is because I'm so needs to be perfect and set up and planned out and all of those different kinds of things. Like this, and I have one other answer that goes along with it. I feel like my extreme version of myself is like Fletcher and Miles Teller's characters from Whiplash. And I feel like I'd be that obsessive about being perfect and doing this at such a high level. And if I ever let myself go, I'd get to that point. And I felt like that was an interesting way. Or if I want to look at, everything has to be in order and organized and put together. And I feel like the dark side of me would be the Dark Knight Returns Batman. Fascist leader of Gotham. It's like everything must have order and at any means necessary. And I feel like those are the kinds of things where it's just that's generally how I am, and if you really push them to these crazy extremes, that would kind of capture that kind of idea. So, very interesting question, Alex. Now, what is the breakdown of your movie collection? So obviously I have a lot of movies here, and the vast majority of them are still DVDs. A lot of them are still DVDs, but a really big growing proportion of them are actual Blu-rays. So I have a lot of Blu-rays. I only have a handful of 4K films. I have Blade Runner 2049. I have Endgame. I have Fury Road. I have Ant-Man and the Wasp, because I got that on Black Friday for 4K. I still don't have a whole lot of 4Ks, but actually I think I have Widows in 4K. So mostly it's still DVDs. I have around 1,600 plus at this point. And growing. There's still room on this third shelf that's right off to the left of me that you can't see on camera. So, just keep going. And my buying has definitely slowed, minus my big dump of new buys from the Criterion sale back in the summer, including, you can see here, this really nice Bruce Lee collection and a whole bunch of other films. My Agnes Varda collection, a lot of different things I got from that sale, but still, mostly DVDs. A large growing chunk of them are Blu-rays. And, just overall, just having a few 4Ks thrown in there, I have a lot of films. So, a lot to appreciate and have fun with. Now, my most anticipated films of 2021 left. So, as I'm recording this, we're about a week or so into November. So, have the rest of this month and next month. But this week, coming out, I'm so excited for Belfast at this point. The trailers get me so bad and really do a great job of selling this film. It's intimate, it's beautiful, and Kenneth Branagh, I think, has something special here. And then the other one is House of Gucci. I'm especially after The Last Duel, I'm can Ridley Scott do a 1-2 of great films here in 2021? And with Lady Gaga and Adam Driver and this whole crazy cast, and this seems crazy over the top kind of crime drama I'm looking forward to House of Gucci, so those are definitely the two. Classic movies that I still need to see. One of them is, so the one that I have here at the very top is The Man Who Would Be King. So based off of the Rudyard Kipling novel starring Sean Connery and Michael Caine. And this has been a film that I had on my Netflix DVD list for a long time, but it was always delayed. This is definitely a film that I'm excited to check out at this point. I had Being There on there, but I literally just watched it this past weekend, so not on there anymore. But definitely The Man Who Would Be King is that classic film that, like, out of all of them that I haven't watched yet, that's still the one right now, to me, that I still want to see the most. Who is my ultimate comfort movie character? Po from Kung Fu Panda. I feel a deep connection to, and a certain level of relatability to Po, and I wish I could just have that zen kind of energy that's like, yeah man, I'm just gonna eat and be cool. And Jack Black is so great as Po, and I just feel like he's such a fun character that has a very specific, like, this is what I'm all about, and I'm all about it. Favorite superhero film for me personally, Captain America Civil War. Loved Captain America films, such an amazing trilogy. And Cap and versus Iron Man, it's a meaningful comic book film with a lot to say about oversight and trusting the government and consequences, and having a very emotionally charged personal fight at the end, on top of the airport scene, Video game. So, video game that I want to see made into a movie, none of them. Already ruined so many. I want to see Legend of Zelda. I still want to see this big fantasy epic be created. I really want to see that happen someday, and hopefully they do it justice, and it's a big, sprawling epic that really captures everybody's attention, and we'll have to see. Maybe we'll get it someday. Now, favorite foreign language films, I have 5 films here that I kind of split between 2 filmmakers. I have the legendary Akira Kurosawa, and I put Yojimbo, which, was recreated into Fistful of Dollars, about this Ronin who's kind of getting pulled between these 2 warring families. You have Rashomon, which is on trial for this one heinous act and getting everybody's perspectives. 7 Samurai, just this 3-hour plus epic of samurai action. And then Andrei Tarkovsky, I have Stalker and Solaris, which are some of the greatest science fiction films ever created. And just like 2001: The Space Odyssey, except Russian version, Solaris. And Stalker is such an unnerving and intriguing experience. So I've definitely widened my net of foreign language films recently, but definitely those 2 seem to be the 2 main ones that I'm a big fan of. So this is a special question from Movie Trek. Adriana, one of my friends who I met through Instagram, she asked, what would be my song to dance to if I had a Steve and Peggy scene with my fiancée Jess? When they finally get their dance. I'm not going to give away the one that I actually wanted to pick because it's going to be our wedding song, and I want to keep that under wraps for now. But especially after all these Belfast trailers, Everlasting Love, such a beautiful song. I think that would be a wonderful thing to dance to and share that moment with. Most rewatchable films, Shrek. Could literally quote that movie from start to finish. I'm Robert Neville from Will Smith's I Am Legend. Just start to finish being able to say the whole entire film. And also The Big Lebowski. I never get tired of that film. And, the Duder, or if you're El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing. The Dude is just such a great character. That film's full of off-the-charts characters like, I'll get you a toe. Painted and everything. And just everything about it is so crazy, over the top, and wonderful. Now, I have an interesting one here is TV series finales or seasons that I regret because it was such a drop in quality. I hated the last season of The Office. And, like, the finale was much better, but, like, just watching that whole last season was just rough. Like, a rough go. And honestly, they should have really canceled after when Michael Scott left. You know, Steve Carell really carried that. Robert, California is an interesting replacement, but, like, come on, it just wasn't the same. And Arrested Development should have ended after season 3 at this point, because that 4th season is a choppy, hot mess. And what they brought back on Netflix for season 5 was just felt a lot like a shadow of itself. So that one definitely disappoints me, because I absolutely loved the first 3 seasons. My fiance was like, I did a little thing for getting questions to answer on here, and she just put I love you, so little shout out. Not really a question. Not a question at all. We do have, the question was, can I borrow your Hermione Time Turner for a week that apparently that I use? So thank you, Adam, from Sif Pop Down Under. And, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. This is definitely not how I do all of this stuff and still able to balance things. I totally do not have a time turner. We'll leave it at that. And my last question here, which this is from one of my best friends, Haley, as bang for the buck, what is the best streaming service? And it's interesting because this one's one of the most expensive ones, but I find it really hard to argue with the commitment to paying for HBO Max, because it just has so much. You have everything HBO, which is worth that amount of money in general anyway. Especially this year, you got all of the in-theater releases as well. We still have King Richard and Matrix Resurrections still this year to check out that you can have on HBO Max. And, you know, you have a lot of great original content, series. Just, there's so much to enjoy and take advantage of. You have Turner Classic Movies. You have Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, obviously, Comedy Central. There's just so many different things that you can sit and enjoy. Studio Ghibli, just all of these different things on HBO Max. It's just filled to the brim with content and great content. Runner-up will definitely be Disney Plus. There's just so much that you could take advantage of for such a small price compared to everything else. But definitely HBO Max, I think, would be the one to be taking the ticket. But this is a lot of fun and a great way to celebrate 500 subscribers. If you have more questions, you know, reach out to me on Instagram or comment on this video, and I could save your questions for the next time I do one of these videos, which I'm not sure when I'll do it, because, like, maybe when I crack 1,000 subscribers, that'll be a big one. Maybe saving up some questions for a while for that. But overall, you know, it took me 5 years to get to 500 subscribers, and there's definitely times where I thought I was going to give up and just stop doing this, but I stayed committed and I kept moving forward with it. And now, this has grown so much over the course of these 5 years plus, and I'm so excited to continue to do this. I'm so excited to have all the support of all my wonderful followers and subscribers here on the YouTube channel for the Wasteland Reviewer, and just overall support through this endeavor of me sharing my love for movies. And I appreciate all of you so much, but thank all of you out there for always supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.